All right, cool. Hey, listen, it's Mike, CCRH from Winnipeg. We are in Wisconsin with Peter Dale from Farm Tough Hockey. How many times have we played against each other? A few, right?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
I've been chopped by you quite a few times.
Chopped?
Sure.
Well, right, I'm sure. I can't catch any anymore, right? Always too fast for me. But listen, we're in Wisconsin at, all I've seen and heard of this unbelievable place, Farm Tough Hockey here, which is Peter Dale's, brainchild, baby, business, however you want to put it, where he trains hockey players from, I'm not just North America, I'm sure all over the world, maybe not, but if they're not, they should be here. Just got the tour from his youngest son, Ty. So Pete, I'm just coming back from State Wars. I know that you've been very successful there. You played there for Wisconsin for many years, and Arches and Tours and all these other places. Tell us a little bit about Farm Tough and what you do here, buddy.
Yeah, so welcome out. Great to have you guys out. I'm glad you guys could squeeze a little visit in on the way home.
Extra 140 clicks up the highway, no big deal.
No biggie, you guys just traveling. So I was training this hockey player about 10, 12 years ago, and the family was selling this property and said, hey, I think you'd really like this property. And it was at the time where, I used to do USA clinics where I travel all over the country and teach roller hockey camps and stuff like that. And when I started having kids, it was like, I don't want to travel so much. And so I came out and I saw this place and I was like, dude, it's like Youngblood meets Rocky. And so I just had this idea and this vision of, this place where hockey players could come and stay and train and hang out and stuff like that. And what I've really discovered, which is kind of crazy, because I know, here in the U.S., right, you've got all the USA Hockey people and this whole ADM model and small space training. And it's like, if you look around, right, we're like the epitome of small space training. This is it. And, we started a roller club about 4 years ago, right? We're terrible, right? We get mercy ruled every game, right? We've all been there. We started, right? And since then, right, when you looked around, right, all of a sudden now we start winning, right? Now we start competing, but now we actually start winning, and we have teams that have made it to AAA divisions and stuff like that, and you look around and you stop back and you just go, we play in a barn, right? So it's kind of crazy, but it's the execution, the repetition, the training in the small spaces. It really does work. It really does pay off. And so we've just created this sort of cool, fun atmosphere where, during the summer, obviously it's busy time. Kids come in right now. We've got kids in from Illinois, a kid from Arizona. If you look around, right, we've got Rob and the buddies from England have been here. Yeah. The girls from Spain have been out here. We've had people from France. It's just last year we had people from South Africa that came out.
Global. So it's global.
It's just one of those things where for roller hockey, there's not a lot of people that have places to go, so a lot of people like to come here and do that. But what we find is that we use roller hockey and we use skates and inline for all of my ice guys that train, right? We don't have much roller here, except our new rink that we put in, which is great. Nice plug. We'll be back next spring.
100%, right? Seasonal, just like us for now, right?
But all of the ice guys, I've got a bunch of guys that play juniors, some D1 commits, guys that play D3 hockey, and we all put them on skates. So we do our sports performance training here. We go outside. We use the barns. We use our tires. We use ropes. We do things to get kids outside, get them out of the sterile environment, right? And when we come back in, though, we put them on rollers. We train on rollers. And I'm telling you, the one thing, here's what I find, right? Because we go back and forth all the time. We're believers in roller, how good it is for the sport. Yeah. The best guys that I train, the guys that have D1 commits, the guys that play, they put rollers on, they don't miss a beat. Right? The guys that are sort of okay, they're the ones that, if I was on the ice, I'd be better. I can't do this on the rollers. I can't stop. So I've always said, good is good, right? Fast is fast, strong is strong, right? And so it's just been something that the guys love. They really love it.
And Pete, and one of the things, and getting back to the confined small spaces, I just asked him how big this place was, and it's about 2,400 square feet, including what he's got back over there. So maybe a playing area of about maybe 2,200 square feet back here with built-in support beams as obstacles and things like that, which is amazing. And I'm watching these, I've always watched it on the videos and everything like that. And I'm like, what is going on in there? I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to put it in perspective in my head. How are they doing all this? Then you get in here, and it's one of the most beautiful places, like you said, Youngblood meets Rocky. And for me, and with CCRH and Winnipeg, and what we're trying to do is a lot like what, and I will be the first to admit, Pete is one of our, he sends a bunch of write-ups for our website, and he is actually the author of Why Roller Hockey. I used his exact article with permission, obviously, and he was more than happy to do that. And he's one of those, you're not only one of the, a roller guy, but you understand the concept of, in Winnipeg we have a lot of guys who have their kids in spring hockey and ice hockey, and what they're doing is they're playing in 4 tournaments somewhere, they're playing in 10 practices, and by the time they're done traveling and doing this and that, they've spent $6,000-$7,000 right after they've played ice hockey all year long. And you know, as a trainer and as an instructor and everything that we do, that getting kids off of that 12-month-a-year ice hockey cycle and then presenting them with something like this alternative, which they're still using all of those aspects of the of hockey skill development, but because you're in a smaller space and because you got more puck touches and you're able to, you know, hold on to the puck longer, especially in the game of roller hockey, it just lends to if you're an ice hockey guy by heart and that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, this can only help you become a better ice hockey player. And trying to convince those who don't understand, because you know as well as I do, I was just telling you, people walk in, they walked into a play, I didn't know it was like this.
Right.
You walk into an ice hockey rink with a roller floor and they're playing at a big tournament, it's like, you use a puck,
right.
You can stop,
right.
And they don't understand. Like, I used to interview Pat Maroon, you know, back at State Wars. He was always gracious, and you know, he swears by the game. He says, Mike, this is why I got to the NHL.
Right.
Christopher Terry, Corey Conacher, all of those guys, this is why they got to the NHL. So when you come to a place like this and you're able to sit here and train in these places with obviously, and I've told you this before, man, I think the world of you. I think you are, what's unfortunate is you're like me, we're so tucked away in these obsolete places in the world. Like, I was driving up here, I'm like, how has he got so many people? Like, we're driving here, I'm like,
right.
Where the hell are we?
Right.
Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. And it's the same thing in Winnipeg. They're like, I ain't going to Winnipeg for anything. I'm like, man, come on, come and try this. And, you know, trying to get all these players to try this game. And once they do, I'm pretty sure you find this as well. Once they try this game, you literally have to drag them off the sheet of the rink surface,
yeah.
Because they just love the game, because it's so free-flowing. It allows kids to be creative. And it's so good for the ice hockey community. But they just, I've always said that the old ice hockey guard are starting to, forgive me, die out. You know, that old school thinking,
right.
that ice hockey mentality of it's only ice hockey 12 months a year. And there's got to be different alternatives. I always said a blind monkey can teach a kid to ice skate stick handle, right? But it's all the other things that go
right.
along with the intangibles, right? And this
Yeah.
is one of the intangibles, right? So how have your athletes transitioned from, like, the pure ice guys that come here,
right.
and they put rollers on for the first time? And I know because I've had a couple guys, I'm not really comfortable, and they need to skate a bit. But how are the guys take to what you got going on here? Because it seems to me like this is
yeah.
like I would be here if I lived in this area. My kid would be here all the time.
Yeah, and what you said is 100% true, and the same things have happened in Wisconsin. Springtime comes, everyone thinks that they're playing quote-unquote AAA hockey,
Yeah,
right?
the 3As
So
on
they
mom
get
and
the
dad's
3As.
jacket, right?
Right, so we're going to start the first 4A program.
Right, I've
so
said
we're
that
gonna,
in
we're going to be 4A, we're going to go. But listen, right, this last year we had 10 roller club teams, right? We started with 3, we went up to 10. Every single kid that plays for us is an ice hockey kid.
Right.
Every single kid that came, if you asked them and said if you could only do one or the other, probably, I would say 10 out of 10, but I'll give you 9 just in case there's maybe that one,
Right.
would say, I'll play roller, right? 100%.
And that's the same thing where I
And
am.
if it were on the same level where they thought they could get a college scholarship and they thought they could play pro this,
Right.
it would probably be 10 out of 10.
And what's funny when you say
Yeah.
that, and I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to jump on that, is what people in ice hockey community don't know is the opportunity that people have from this sport.
Yeah.
Because when you're done playing high school, if you're fortunate enough to play at junior level, whether it's junior A, junior B, junior C, or you're lucky to play in a D3 college, which is really 2% of the population may
Yeah.
get to play at that
Still
level.
good.
After you're done that, it's beer league.
Right.
Like, after that, it's like, okay, now we're going every Wednesday night at 10:30, and now we're just playing with our buddies and we're 22, 23 years old.
Right.
Where in roller, you can get a 4-year scholarship for roller hockey.
Yeah.
People don't understand there's like 100 colleges that have roller hockey club level, even though it's not the Saturday afternoon football level,
Right.
but they're still USC, Michigan, Michigan State, BU, Maine, all have roller hockey teams.
Yeah.
And they have a place to play. And then you get into your tournaments, you get into your World Championships, there's Team Canada, Team USA, your State Wars, your NARCH, you know, all of these things. And I'm living proof, you're living proof. We're in our 40s.
Yeah.
We're still
Like-
playing.
Like 40, yeah.
40 and change, right? Right. But you know, everybody knows I'm 48, and I just felt like a 9-year-old playing in the 45 division again,
Right.
getting a gold medal, winning a championship with the boys, playing roller hockey again, and still being able to do it at an incredibly high level, playing in national championships. You don't get to do that in ice hockey anymore. So how do you think your parents, how do your parents react to this, these ice hockey kids? Because the kids all love it, but how are the parents when they leave a Farm Tough hockey, camp program, and then they see the results from what you bring here on this surface, and then they go back to ice? Dramatic?
Dramatic. I mean, I think the biggest thing, And in all of it, I think the one thing that you miss and that we forget is when you make that transition from ice to roller, it's like the pressure's off you. The mental fatigue that you have during an ice hockey season, the grind of it is so much, right?
Yeah.
The intensity level, you know, crazy, freaky parents, coaches, everyone yelling and screaming, right? So when you get to come and just play roller, it's like they think it's like fun time. It's like recess now, right? We encourage creativity, right? We still want to be smart, right? I don't want you toe dragging when you're the last guy back and get picked off, right? But we're all right with you trying new things. Like this is what I call the guys, like this is R&D. This is for you guys to practice, right? Do new things, have fun. And I think the parents from the beginning of a program to the end, right? Because you're sort of here, we're landlocked in tournaments that we go to, right? So, you know, in the beginning we go to, say, you know, Midwest Wars because it's in Detroit. Well, you've got all these Detroit players and a lot of, you know, the AAA kids. So in the beginning, or our younger teams, maybe they take a beating, right? But by the time you get to nationals and everything seeds itself out and you're with the right kids, they're amazed at the amount of improvement that the kids happen, right? And here's what happens every single year. They go back to ice hockey. And every single person says, "Oh my God, what did you do in the offseason?
What did you do in the offseason?
What'd you do? He got so good. I can't believe how good they are." And they say, "We play roller hockey." Right?
I tell everybody back home, every parent I tell, I say, listen, I don't care who your kid is, what your kid's ability is. You put him in one of our programs, one of your programs, for as little as 3 months, where it's every other day, every third day of skating. They will go up one level. I don't care what the level is, whether it's C to B, B to A to double A, they will go up one level for the majority of players, just because of exactly what you say. Parents have no, like they can't believe how their kids can transition from this to that and how much of an improvement. But you're right, it's the mental part of it. It's getting away from the pressures, the politics of ice hockey, all the craziness. I tell all my parents at home, I'm like, listen, you know what's great about roller hockey is there's no governing body telling you or your son or daughter where they have to play. So I know, I don't know how it is in the States, but I know in Canada, if you live in Winnipeg, there's called catchment areas. So if you live in the North End and you live in the South End can't play in the North End. You can't, even if you're in the same city, you can't go across. And that, you know, you might have a best friend or a cousin. You can, I say roller hockey, you call your 8 best friends, you bring them down to the rink, you put a team in, and you just play. And a lot of times, one of the things that we do in our program, I run a 3-hour skill development every Saturday and Sunday. And we give them the first 20 to 25 minutes by themselves. No coaches, just throw some pucks out there, just go play. And I had one dad, we had a birthday party a little while ago, and one of the moms or dads came up to me and goes, there's 10 kids out there, he goes, do you think we should get them going? I said, give them like 5-10 minutes, they'll figure it out. Playing around, all of a sudden the sticks are in the middle, kids are divvying up the sticks, and now they're playing a game on their own. No coaches, no parents, nobody telling them what to do. And then they go out there and you watch them and they start to pick up the game because there's no icing, there's no offsides. It's 4-on-4, which, like you mentioned earlier, begs for the kids to be creative, allows them to be creative, and then forces them to be defensive as well. They have to have their head on the swivel. They have to keep the rink in front of them all the time, because if they don't, I got dads to say, well, there's no red line, you can just put a guy all the way at the other end. Well, sure, but you gotta go protect. I mean, I'm not protecting him.
You gotta go down and protect.
You know me, Pete. I'm always in the offensive zone. My guy can be in the defensive zone all he wants. That's somebody else's problem. But for me, but for other kids, you know, and it teaches them, okay, well, I get a defensive responsibility here. And when they start to learn that on a grand scale on the roller rink, they take that back to the ice rink, and all of a sudden their defensive game is night and day from where it may have been. And
that's something I don't think people really get, right? There is no blue line to save you. There is no offside to save you, right? It's me against you, you against me. The battle and the one-on-one, the understanding of being able to recognize that, to get open, to find out where the puck is, right? To not take yourself out of it. Like, you can't get that. You just don't get it in ice, right? But the combination of both, magic, right? Because it changes your whole mentality.
And I think the other problem with ice, and you know this as well as I do, is ice is so expensive. $300 an hour, $250 an hour. You don't have time to do one-on-ones with players. It's basically you do your 2 circle drills, you do a couple of whatever to get your blood going, and then it's straight into whatever drills the coaches are doing. You know, something like this, on season, off season. You know, this kind of a training where you can get 1-on-4 training, you know, 1 instructor to 4, however you have it. Is just invaluable to people. And we were just chatting a second ago, because this is something that myself, and we've talked about this for years, CCRH, and first of all Michael Hunt, and then 1-5, and now CCRH, Central Canadian Roller Hockey, is something that, because I don't have a year-round facility, I want to get a 2,500 square foot place, put the little yellow kick panels along here like you do, put some walls up, whatever we need to do, and have this exact thing. So Pete, what do you think about Farm Tough North?
I like Farm Tough Canada?
Farm Tough Canada. Why couldn't we do that? I'm telling you, we got to talk about that.
It's a good brand.
We got it. I'll tell you.
do it.
We can brand that. We'll just throw a CCRH patch on each shoulder.
For sure.
And we'll partner up. We'll do some other things like that. I mean, you got the model, man. I mean, he's a legend. If you listen to him talk, if you were to close your eyes and just listen to him talk and then me talk, we sound a lot the same. We have the same passion.
That's true.
There's not a lot of guys like you and me out there, man, that live for this and drive this sport. And I'm so happy that I've got you in my life as a guy who would call and say, hey, Pete, we're thinking of doing this, we're thinking of doing that. Mike, this works, this doesn't work so much. Try this if you need me for that. He's always there to help, and he's been instrumental in what we've done. Even though he doesn't know, like I told Pat Maroon, even though he doesn't know the impact that he has for CCRH in Winnipeg, he has a monster impact. Everybody follows him. Everybody knows who Peter Dale is. They know who I am too, but they really know who Peter Dale is. And it's just, I'm really thrilled that you invited us here, that we're able to come here for a bit and borrow a bit of your time. I know you got the kids going right now. You've been lucky we cut a 10-minute window here.
Great. It's perfect timing.
Buddy, is there anything you want to close with?
No, you know what? I'd say we'll keep the doors open. I think it'd be cool for us to do some cross-promotional stuff where we take guys up to your place, you down here, we do some camps, some programming stuff together. And one thing that might be good for you guys to get involved, I know this coming June, next June, we are going to put together, we've been working with the college guys, a college prospect camp. So it'll be come into town.
Yeah.
Kids will arrive on Thursday. We'll stay Friday night, or Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, go home Sunday.
Yep.
We're going to bill it at the college, Concordia University, right here in town, which is right by 10 minutes from the rink that we have and stuff like that. And we're going to start to let kids know and expose and bring out college coaches and let people start knowing about other options.
Right.
Because there are a lot of options.
There's a
They
lot.
don't know.
Yeah, and I'm only a 10-hour, 11-hour drive, man, so I'd be more than happy to come
Yeah.
help. I know,
For
get the
sure.
water for the kids. You know me. I'm for anything I can do
Always.
to help, right?
Yeah.
Hey, listen. So again, we're at Farm Tough Hockey. We're with Peter Dale. I look forward to once again playing against you and working with you in certain aspects and continue to grow the sport. A lot of people love the stuff that I do up in Canada, and they know my passion. And I feel the same way about what you do, and you should be very proud of what you do and how you help grow this game and help kids become better students, athletes, and players. And most importantly, that's the biggest thing. We're trying to help groom young kids to become better people. And if we can help do that through this sport, you know what, that's what we're here to do. So from CCRH in Winnipeg and Canada to my very dear friend Peter Dale, Farm Tough Hockey, man, thanks for having us, and I love you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks so much.
See you, man.
All right, cool.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys.